think we're going to warm this up a little bit, so let's have a couple of chances to get some blood flowing. Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Occupation is a crime!
Occupation is a crime!
Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Occupation is a crime!
Occupation is a crime!
Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Puerto Rico, Palestine!
Occupation is a crime!
Occupation is a crime!
There you go. Once upon a time, the Speaker of the New York City Council and the leader of this delegation, Melissa Mark Viverito, was a labor and community activist. I clearly remember and have images here to prove that she actually passionately believed in human and worker rights. Here she is with a nice little t-shirt that says, "Stop dropping the bombs on Vieques." Right? Since last summer, I've been tormented by some other images. Images of 4 little Palestinian boys playing on a beach, playing soccer on a beach. These are some of those images, in case you haven't seen them. Their murder in front of international journalists reminded me of 4 little black girls killed by terrorists in a church in Birmingham some 50 years ago. I'm full of images today. Here's that image. 4 little girls killed in Birmingham, Alabama some 50 years ago. Their murder by apartheid and hate, I'll call it Jim Crow or Zionism, killed those children and so many, many more innocent men, women, and children. Last August, a singer from this really well-known Puerto Rican group that actually the Speaker supports and loves, Calle 13, his name is Residente, shared a letter from a Palestinian artist from Gaza on the Israeli attacks on Gaza. In the letter, Tariq describes the current situation in Gaza and emphasizes the danger to the children of Palestine. He says, "Our children crave to swim in the sea, dream of playing in homes stolen from their grandparents, climb mountains in occupied Palestine, to move around our land without locks, without being persecuted, dream of going places without needing special permission. There's a whole nation being made extinct without anyone caring. People are dying and becoming only numbers." That's part of this letter. The bombs that rained on that beach in Gaza on those 4 little boys is not unlike the bombs that rained down in Vieques for some 50, 60 years, thanks to the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Navy presence in Puerto Rico. Indeed, those bombs are probably made by the same U.S. corporations that are also making the same bombs in Gaza that are being drained and dropped. So you, Melissa Mark Viverito, Speaker of the City Council leading this delegation, back then you righteously fought against, with the international community, against these killings and these bombings of Vieques that were violating basic human rights. So again, we ask, what has changed? To those members of the Progressive Caucus planning to go on this trip, you cannot call yourself a progressive and support an apartheid state. You cannot call yourself a progressive and support a state that builds walls that separate people and deprives them of basic necessities. You cannot call yourself a progressive and support a state that indiscriminately bombs civilian homes, houses of worship, hospitals, schools, libraries and universities, water supplies, and even UN schools and shelters. You cannot call yourself a progressive and go on an all-expense-paid captive audience public relations junket to the apartheid state of Israel. Since the attacks in France, we have heard many, indeed many millions yesterday, say that they are Charlie Hebdo. While I support free speech personally and deplore these killings, I personally cannot identify myself with a publication that goes out of its way to inflame tensions and drive Islamophobia. I do, however, identify with those 4 little boys whose lives were tragically cut short by that bomb on that beach in Gaza last summer, and those 4 little girls killed in that church in Birmingham some 50 years ago. So today and every day, until the people of Gaza and the occupied territories get justice, I would rather that we say, and please repeat after me, I am, yo soy, Achet Atef Bakar and Addie Mae Collins. I am, yo soy, Zakaria Achet Bakar and Cynthia Wesley. I am, yo soy, Mohammed Rames Bakar and Carol Robertson. I am, yo soy, Ismael Mohammed Bakar and Denise McNair. I am, yo soy, David San is killed by a Navy bomb in Vieques, and we ask you, and you, my friends in the City Council who are here spying on us, who work for these City Councilmen, to go back and tell them to honor their memory and honor their lives by saying no to the strip and Israeli apartheid. Thank you y gracias.